Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. I'm super excited seeing you guys here once again. If it's your first time coming across this channel, do well to click on the subscribe button so you'll be notified anytime we post a new video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Thank you for always supporting and liking our videos. In today's video, I'll be discussing something I found very interesting, and I know a lot of people will want to know how I did it and also how they can replicate the same success in their farm. So I was able to turn fluted pumpkin into a money making machine, and it's actually mind-blowing what we can achieve in this space, in this agri sector, in agri business. There's a lot of money that will be made in the agri sector, and this thing is mind blowing. I was able to turn fluted pumpkin into a money making machine, and I will share with you everything I did, the cost of production, what it cost me to set up the farm, and also what I was able to make from this farm within a very short period of time. So sometime November last year, November 2024, we have actually started entering the dry season. If you're in Nigeria or in Africa, you know dry seasons are peculiar to November, December, January, February, and thereabouts. So in November 2024, we are actually entering the dry season, and I thought of doing something for the dry season. And in my previous video, I talked about how I was able to turn my 5,000 into 120,000 from spinach. So that particular spinach is like a sidewalk to this fluted pumpkin. This pumpkin was actually the main project. Then that spinach was just like a space I saw at the back of the farm, and I added little spinach. So this is actually the main project I had in mind. So I did 1 bucket of pumpkin seed. I planted 1 pent bucket. So if you have your pen and paper, you can also write these things down, what it cost me to set up the farm. So I thought of doing something for dry season, and I said, okay, I will do pumpkin. So I now said, okay, I want to do something small, not that big. Let me do something small and see how I can be able to grow that particular leafy vegetable. So I got 1 bucket of seed. If you know paint bucket, not the small one, the big paint bucket. I got 1 bucket of that seed. And before that, you must know, when you want to work in dry season, there are some things you should always consider, and that is one of them, and one of the most important of them as well, is having a water source. If you must work in dry season, you must have a water source. There must be a source of water that can take water to your farm if you must succeed in dry season, especially if you're operating in open field farm. So I already had where I can get water from. There's already a borehole, an existing borehole where I can get water from. So what I had to do was just to set up my farm and get irrigation materials to supply the water directly to my plant. So I started working, did my bed, did the ridges. Now the number of ridges you might need might vary depending on your planting distance. My planting distance was 30 cm apart. I planted 30 cm apart. That was my planting distance, and I had over 20 ridges, 20 ridges by 20 cm. So the number of ridges it will take, or the space it will consume for 1 bucket of pumpkin seed, it depends on your planting distance and the length of your ridge. So mine is 20 meter length ridge, and the planting distance was 30 cm apart. So I started working. I had those 20 ridges. I ran my irrigation system, got drip irrigation, the drip tape, got the main line, got the connectors, the joiners, everything I need for the water system. So I spent around 230,000 for the irrigation materials. The material for the irrigation, I spent 230,000 for it alone. Then the seed, the seed, the pumpkin seed cost a little around 200,000 for the seed. So I want you to also put those calculations in place when I'm mentioning how much I make, so that you don't get it twisted. There is cost. It's not like you just plant and you make money. No. There are costs that you incur when planting. So these are the things I incurred, the cost I incurred while planting. So I bought one bucket of seed, paint bucket, for a little around close to 200,000, and I got irrigation material to supply water to my farm for 230,000. Now it's already 430,000 for just irrigation and the seed. Now, because I'm the one planting, I'm the one to maintain the farm. It's just a small space. I'm not to maintain the farm. The cost of labor might not be that high. Of course, I pay myself. So you have to also calculate, even if you're not paying labor, you are the one managing the place, working the work. You have to add some percentage to yourself, just as if you're paying yourself, vice versa, although you are the owner of the farm. Because in my other video, I know I discussed about how to run a sustainable farm. If you've not seen the video, after this video, go back to my previous video and check a video where I did how to run a sustainable farm business. So coming back to this story again, so I also, because I don't have people to pay, I'll maintain the farm myself. So the cost of production, the cost for labor was not that high. So I will peg it for that 3 months around 150,000 that I actually use for normal labor, the weeding and the other things. All right. So we have 200,000 for seed, 230 for irrigation material, and 150 for labor. So it's around 580,000 for production. Now, as at February 2025 this year, my pumpkin were already mature for the market. They were ready to be harvested, ready to be sold. Harvest was sure as at February this year 2025. So my first harvest, the first cutting that I did in the farm, I sold out around 500,000. Mind you, before you scream and say, how can you sell pumpkin 500,000 in one cutting? How is that possible? Mind you, it is dry season. Now, this is why it is important to be strategic when you are producing. You have to be strategic when you're producing. So, mind you, it is dry season. Vegetables are scarce, especially leafy vegetables. Anybody that knows know that when it's January, February, March, the peak of dry seasons, we struggle. People always look for fresh vegetables, and it's difficult to get because it's dry season. So if you have the advantage and you have water to plant and you produce so well, you can actually make a lot of money. That's why I said I turned that particular fluted pumpkin into a money making machine. For me, it was dry season, it was scarce, so I have enough to sell. So my first cutting for the farm, I will actually be putting up some videos or pictures of the activities when I was actually harvesting, when we are selling, and the farm as well, so you see what I'm talking about. So the first cutting in February, I sold out 500,000 from the fluted pumpkin alone in February. Now, if you remember, our cost of production was around 580,000. Then in March, we sold out around 450,000. I think 450 or 430. I am trying to remember the actual figure, but I know it's more than 400,000 in March. From that pumpkin, 430 or 450,000 in March from the pumpkin, and in April we did another 400,000 again in April. Then in May we're actually still in May, and in the first 2 weeks, because we cut every 2 weeks, in the first 2 weeks we've cut in May, I've actually sold out 120,000 already in this particular month of May. And I kid you not, I'll be harvesting because we are gradually entering the rainy season. So the prices of vegetable is coming down little by little because we are gradually entering the rainy season. So the price is dropping. You might not make as much as we sold in the dry season. It is understandable. I've already made my money enough from the dry season. So I will keep selling this pumpkin. We'll keep cutting it every single month until when we know, okay, we want to leave them to grow fruits that we will replant. So for now, in February, March, April, May, we've sold out over 1 point something million from pumpkin alone, and we are still selling, so how can somebody replicate this thing? I just thought of it and said, I should share this, and people would want to actually venture into it. It's an opportunity that I'm sharing for you. You can actually key into it and make something out of it. So how can someone take advantage and replicate the same success? One thing I always say is be strategic. Don't just be a farmer. Don't just be a producer and I produce. No. Be strategic if you want to make money and squeeze the juice of farming. You should be able to be strategic. So I plan to do my planting in November so I can harvest in February. Now I made a mistake. I should have planted early enough. I have planted in October or in September so that I will start selling early. November, December, January, February, March, April. So I started quite late. So if you want to start and take advantage of the dry season full time for like 5 to 6 months, start earlier than I did. I started in November. You can start in September. That is number one. Number two, planning. Plan very well on what you want to do so that you won't be caught off guard when the time comes for you to plant. And number three, make sure if you want to go into dry season farming, make sure you have water source where you can get your water from to supply to your farm. It won't be nice after spending all the money to set up your farm and you don't have enough water to sustain your plants. I believe you've learned one or two things in this video, how you can be strategic to know what to plant in this season and what to plant in another season. So it's just an idea that came to my head. I did it. It was successful. We're still cutting our pumpkin till today, and we'll still be cutting it until when we want to now leave them to grow and give us fruits that we can replant the seed from there. So it is a very interesting venture. I was able to turn this pumpkin into a money making machine for me. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video, and I believe you will also try it out. Until then, see you guys in our next video. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and also share this video for people to see. Bye for now.